Yo, in this video, we'll be looking at bizarre TikToks that will make you question everything.
I never thought I would see the day where I can say that Kim Kardashian and Marjorie Taylor Greene have something in common. They both got the shit booed out of them when they attempted to speak behind a podium. Watch.
I seek recognition to give notice of my intent to raise a question of the privileges of the House. The form of the resolution is as follows. Declaring the office of Speaker of the House of Representatives to be vacant. This is the uniparty for the American people watching.
Gentlelady will suspend.
That's embarrassing. But thanks for bringing attention to the Republicans who didn't support your motion by calling them the uniparty, and bringing that attention to the American people. Because to add insult to injury, Marjorie, does that mean Donald Trump is a part of the uniparty? Your Lord and Savior? Your dreamboat? Right? Because he said this. Ahead of the House voting, which they essentially voted against Marjorie Taylor Greene's motion to vacate, Trump said on social media, "I absolutely love Marjorie Taylor Greene." Yeah, I'm sure you do. But he said Republicans need to be fighting now to defeat Democrats in the November election. He urged Republicans to table Greene's motion. The betrayal. All that ass kissing and God knows what else just to be embarrassed by your man. The pick-me's never get picked, Marge. We try to tell you guys that time and time again. The sad part is, I agree with Marjorie Taylor Greene. I think Mike Johnson is a creep. And the obvious red flag for me was when he admitted that his young son is his accountability coach to not look at nudie videos. That's just weird. But despite Marjorie's best efforts and threats to put in this motion, they failed like 99.999% of the things she tries to do because she's crazy. This is the second time in less than a month that one of Marjorie Taylor Greene's lovers went against her. Now with Donald Trump, and earlier this month when her boyfriend went on television to say New York City is not as bad as everybody says it is. Damn. Better luck next time, Marge. Anyways, bye.
Yo, the pick-me's never get picked. Remember that. But fill me in on this, guys, because I'm a little bit behind, I think. What is she talking about? Vacate the House? Like, they don't want any representatives of the House? Just one? I'm just a little confused there.
So it's allegedly an ocean inside of the ocean.
Oh, wait. We knew this. Y'all remember old boy and the helicopter crash? Quick reminder, don't get on no helicopters.
Look at this.
Wow.
Nah, this is absolutely crazy. It's like it's another layer of water.
It is. So,
and I
know I keep pausing the video, but listen here. I've said this to many people before. It's like a fish that's swimming in the water, right? They breathe in the oxygen from the water, so they think that that's just a normal atmosphere for them. And then they see a brine pool like this, or whatever, the lake's underneath the ocean, and they're like, oh, that's water, right? We're in our atmosphere of oxygen or whatever else is in our atmosphere, chemtrails, but we breathe that in and say that's our atmosphere, and then we look at the water and say that's water. They're the same thing, they're just separated by a molecule or two. So it's kind of like we're in water as well.
guess the craziest part is I done seen this before in a cartoon. The first time that I ever even had this idea of the ocean being inside of the ocean. Like we have two different layers of oceans, different layers of buoyancy.
We do.
We're not gonna act like this not crazy. Oh, who remember this episode of SpongeBob when he drowned? Y'all remember how everybody was asking a question, how can you drown and you already underwater? Well. It seems like we done found the answer to that. Never would I ever thought that we have two different layers of water. It seems like the more and more that we get in this age of truth, the more and more knowledge we seem to learn.
John Cena in a dress when he's supposed to be the most jacked stud of the world. Who does that?
Yeah, I sometimes look at these people, I'm like, hang on, how did they go from like being semi-famous, being in a few films or whatever, and then all of a sudden it's like they're everywhere. They're hosting these big shows, they're in all the biggest films.
Most people are for sale. These humiliation rituals, these are people that are for sale. And some people think, I'm never for sale. Yeah, but what if they offer you 50 million? What if they offer you something that is life-changing? And some people get these offers. If you have a price, whether it's a multi-million-dollar price or to keep your job, then you're a slave because you're for sale. That's why you need to be able to get rid of all the things that are liabilities or that can be used against you so that you can live a life of freedom. Freedom just means your ability to do whatever it is that you want to do, wherever it is that you want to do it, however it is that you want to do it. And it requires a lot of work to earn that freedom.
Yep.
And most people just don't want to put in the work to get rid of those shackles. I did, and it paid off. And now my objective is to be able to translate that same message to other people.
When we rise up to overthrow this government, we're going to organize on TikTok. They know this. That's why they want it banned. Has nothing to do with your data, has nothing to do with China. It's all about you taking away their power, which rightfully belongs to you. They are our representatives. They work for us. They have forgotten this fact. They've sold us out. They've sold out this country. A revolution is coming. They know their time is short. They hate this app because we're talking. Normal people sharing ideas, sharing solutions, and they hate it. That's it. That's the only reason they want to ban this app.
Hey, y'all better save as many TikTok videos as you can now. You know, like when you see something pop up and it's like, yo, save that video because they might take it down. It might have a community guideline strike. You know how it goes on TikTok, or we don't know how long TikTok will be around. So save them videos, and that way we can post them to other platforms.
That again, the whole history of America is the history of rich white men telling not rich white people that their enemies are black and brown. It starts in the colonies. Of what would become the United States. Let's remember, during the colonial period, mid-1600s, there was no such thing as white people. I know some people who are now called white find that shocking, right?
Let them know.
Because they think whiteness is real, right? But whiteness was created. Europeans didn't call themselves white. We didn't call ourselves white. We weren't all members of one big happy family. Are you kidding? Have you studied the history of Europe? The history of Europe was about killing each other. That's what we did in Europe. We just killed each other before we figured out there were other people to kill. We just killed each other, right? I mean, that was the history of Europe. The English hated the Irish, right? Northern Italians didn't even think that Southern Italians were Italians. The Germans hated everybody, and everybody hated their ass right back, right? There was no team called white, no race called white, but all of a sudden, in the middle of the 1600s, there was. Why? Why was it suddenly necessary to create this thing called the white race? Well, because rich people can count, that's why. And so rich folks looked around, the ones that owned all the land, you know, in the colonies, the colonial elite looked around and they realized something, that they were heavily outnumbered by African enslaved folks, by European indentured servants who were just one level above a slave, or other Europeans who weren't technically indentured servants, but they were still peasants, didn't have any money, didn't have any land, and they could do.
I feel like that indentured servant word and slave are the same, you know, and I honestly feel like, quote unquote, white people use that to try to say like they weren't slaves. Like, no, you were literally a slave, and we are all slaves today. If you work for a corporation, if you have a job, if you're an employee, you are an indentured servant. Employee is another name for an indentured servant. There you go.
Do the math, they added it up and they were like, damn, we got to figure out a way to split these folks apart from one another, or they're going to rise up and take our stuff, right? Because after a while, these black folks who were enslaved Africans and these quote unquote white folks who were poor Europeans are going to figure out they're all getting played by these rich people, right? So ultimately the rich figure out they got to come up with some way to get somebody in that group on their team. The easiest thing is to get the poor Europeans, right? Because at least they look like you. They sort of share some of the customs and the culture. So they all of a sudden create this thing called whiteness, and they say, now you're part of the club.
Hey, and another thing is, right, the rich Europeans he's talking about, I truly believe there was rich blacks, so-called blacks as well, who are on the same page, right? They're like, yo, There's too many of these low-level people here, and they're going to figure it out. So I think the rich white and the rich black came together. I still think there's black elites out here, and they're gatekeepers.
Now we're going to let you testify in court, enter into contracts, vote, at least if you're a man, own a little bit of land, at least if you're a man, right? And we're going to get rid of indentured servitude. No more of that, because you're too good for that. And we're going to take the white men, now called white men, and put them on the slave patrol to keep black people in line. Give them a horse and a gun and a badge and make them feel big and powerful, right? They're still poor. They still don't have anything. They didn't pay the slave patrol well. Right? Just exploited them, used them as a buffer between the elite and the other poor folks, particularly poor folks of color. And pretty soon the rebellions that occasionally happened where black and white got together to overthrow the elite, those stopped because the divide and conquer had begun to work, right? You could turn people against each other by telling those poor white folks, they got to keep these black people in line. And so that divide and conquer gets initiated in the colonies, rich white men telling not rich white people that their enemies are black and brown.
That's why I think America a big show with a bunch of actors.
So there was a woman that was followed by a ghost after leaving the cemetery. And she found out because the Tesla GPS picked up on it. Look at this, bro. There was a strange phenomenon that's going on with these Teslas in these cemeteries.
Yeah, I've seen this before.
It's even following her even when she's going 50 miles per hour. And this is not the first video I've did about these Teslas picking up ghosts at cemetery. But I have never seen a ghost follow somebody though. Like, do Tesla got Ghostbuster UAVs or radars or something?
I think so.
Because how possibly are they picking up on ghosts on their GPS systems? And Ganger, what you gonna do about that ghost that follows you home? I feel like that's the real question. Because that ghost looked pretty determined to get at you. Whatever you did to that ghost, you might actually want to call the Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I'm finna get a Tesla, right? And I'm finna go to the cemetery where all my old loved ones are. And I'm gonna see if any of them pop up. See if one walks in front of the car, you know? Who knows? What is this? What the heck? Skin suits. Look at that. How? How are you picking up a cup that way? No way. Oh, no. That's just, give me the chills. Y'all seen that? Something was in his sleeve. Yeah. Ooh. Yo, y'all ever seen the show Stargate? They had the little snake things in their belly. Oh, nah. Men in Black. That's what I think of. Men in
Are we
Black.
just supposed to like pretend that this isn't happening?
I don't know, but I think this is how we start. First, we are way too reliant on companies nowadays. We need to learn how to start sewing our own clothing again. Like, that sounds dumb, but stop the capitalism. Stop buying so much stuff. Let's start fixing our own clothing or start investing in clothing that will last us longer periods of time.
Straight
Next,
up.
fuck grass yards. We need to have like little farms everywhere. And I know a lot of people can't do anything about that because they live in apartments, especially in this day and age. I get it. So gorilla farm. Start planting blueberry bushes in your nearby park or on your walkways to your job. Plant orange trees everywhere. I don't care anymore. Do it. Let us eat. Why is there useless plants? I get it, they're not actually useless, but you catch my drift. And next up, we need to get hella political. The whole thing where we are all raised where you shouldn't talk about politics is bullshit. We should all be discussing politics, but actually be discussing in a manner of where we're trying to help each other. Not left versus right, not this versus that, but how do we as a people try to come together for the greater good of the American people? And lastly, call your representatives and show up to your town hall meetings for the love of God. Ding!
What do you think of
Think
Elon?
you're dropping gems.
Elon is an interesting case. these crazy parties.
It's karma season for some, dharma season for others. Some people gonna be receiving their karma. Some people gonna be receiving their dharma. If you didn't know what dharma is, it's good karma. You know what I'm saying? Regardless, karma is real. Whether you want to believe in it or not, baby, it's real. What goes around comes around. The energy that you put out, you're going to get back. Even if it's not instantly, you're going to get it back. But actually, what we experiencing this year, a lot of instant karma is happening right now because the energies have shifted on this planet. Meaning, if you woke right now, you woke right now. And if you're not, you're not. And that's how it's supposed to be. You know, everybody's exactly divinely where they're supposed to be right now at this point of evolution as a consciousness, collectively as one. So it's a lot of people right now that's going to be regretting how they did you. For those of us who are experiencing dharma, like it's our winning season right now. We're glowing. Everything's going in our favor. I'm talking new jobs, new job opportunities, financial abundance, financial freedom. I'm talking peace in the mind, heart, body, spirit. I'm talking good vibes, good energy. I'm talking just waking up being full of happiness and love for life and love for self every single day. For those of us who are experiencing that, experiencing our heaven on earth and manifesting all of our desires, all of these things, I mean, there is an abundance of blessings, abundance of opportunities, an abundant flow of abundance coming to a lot of people right now who are deserving because it's our time. Remember how we keep on saying the last will be first. It is now time for the underdogs to be the top dogs. It is now time for those who have suffered, for those who have been the sacrifices, for those who have been, you know what I'm saying, always feeling like they getting cheated out of shit, always feeling like why all these other people get to live so good and I gotta constantly struggle, I gotta constantly be at the bottom, I gotta constantly, you know what, it's time for that to flip and now we at the top. And those people who treated you like shit back then, that you was still giving them grace and you was still forgiving them and you was still moving in love with them and you was still giving them chances, all these people now, it's time for them to get their motherfucking karma. They're gonna be struggling, they're gonna be on the flip end of everything while we're receiving. You get what I'm saying? So just be aware of your life. Pay attention to your life, what you're experiencing in your life right now. You know, a lot of people are under heavy judgment and, you know, we need to learn lessons, all of us. Nobody is exempt from learning these lessons. Nobody is exempt from going through what we go through. You get what I'm saying? But just know that karma is real. So whatever energy you out here moving in, make sure your intentions are pure. Make sure your heart is pure. Really do the work on yourself. Really start to heal. You have to take accountability. You have to take charge and control of your life. You have to master yourself, baby. Don't let nobody else master you and be your master. Regardless if we're slaves or not, there's a way to free yourself mentally and spiritually from these programs. Physically, we got to be here while we're in this physical realm. But mentally and spiritually, you could be on a whole nother dimension, baby. We not from here.
Yo, when the slave masters aren't in control anymore, then I feel like, yo, we on top, you know. But until that day, we still here grinding.
Are you?
No, that's very true. They're probably playing the Hunger Games in other countries right now. Listen, America falling. I'm not gonna lie, America falling, and all these other countries out here that America done been bullies to, that they done stepped on and dropped bombs on and killed women and children for no apparent reason. They're all like, yep, I see y'all falling, and we getting ready.
When I was a little kid, I asked my dad, if countries are at war with each other all the time, then how come every 4 years they get together and play games at the Olympics? That doesn't make any sense. Why would they do that?
Yo, I ain't even think about that one yet. Wow. Can you imagine at the Olympics they're gonna have Ukraine versus Russia in a 100-meter dash?
That. And he didn't have an answer, but it's funny because little kids know, man, it makes no sense. I'm sorry, but If all these countries hate each other and they're all at war with each other, they're not going to put their differences aside every 4 years to play games. That's ridiculous. So, I mean, that's just one more proof of nonsense. Not to mention, you know, the Antarctic Treaty was signed by all the countries in the whole world so that no one can do anything in Antarctica. So they were all able to get together and sign this treaty. Don't you think they would all be able to get together and lie to you? Because I do. I'm at the point now, I don't believe in countries anymore. I believe we have owners because it can pretty much be proven. I mean, BlackRock and Vanguard basically own the whole world. So we have owners, and I don't think we have countries. We have dividers. We have jails that we're all in, that we're not allowed to leave without passports and licenses and certificates and all sorts of stuff. It's a scam. But this is for your entertainment. And I love you all.
Is he speaking the truth or not?
All right, so I don't want to scare the 54%ers, but this is like the 5th time this has happened. And now I'm starting to think like maybe I wasn't too hasty in my jumping the gun of what the fuck is going on. Because this blob, this anomaly that appeared in Antarctica, look how fucking huge it is, right? You see how big that fucking thing is? Well, this thing appeared in February, and it was a glitch, they said. In March, it was a glitch, they said. April 9th, a glitch. April 25th, a glitch. And now another fucking glitch. Why are there so many fucking glitches? Can someone explain that? Please, I'm going to go live if you have any clue about what the fuck this is. And I want some serious fucking folks in here. I want, like, knowledgeable people. Not, you know, people like me who have no fucking clue.
So, like, what if it's this, right? Whatever radar that they're using to pick up like waves and whatever, I don't even know what that thing is, what it picks up. I'm pretty sure it picks up like waves and stuff like that, right? Out in the ocean. It's not like actually looking and picking out each individual wave. No, it's something that is sensing. It's a sensor there. There's some type of energy or something coming from a specific area over there, an island, and it's causing that sensor to go crazy. I don't know what it is.
Everyone's talking about the Kendrick and Drake beef, but nobody's talking about the time traveler. Where are my people? This boy literally has an Airbnb in Florida, and he saw someone on his Ring camera. Now, mind you, he was watching the Ring camera the entire time this happened, this whole thing transpired. He saw some guy with a book bag go across his yard to his backyard on his Ring camera. He's watching the guy the whole time. The guy goes in his backyard and goes into his shed. So he's like, who's this guy? I'm calling the police. He calls the police. Police come there. And he's watching the camera the whole time. The guy never leaves the shed. And the police are like, there's nobody here. They go in the shed. And the shed's small. They go in, come out. And they're like, nobody's here. So the next day, he sees his Ring camera tells him there's motion in his backyard. He looks in the backyard and the guy's coming out of his shed. Now, mind you, the police checked, there was nobody there. The guy coming out of his shed was visibly like 30 years older than the guy that walked into the shed initially, and the guy had the same face. It was the same guy. Like, so it gets crazier. So long story short, of course, the guy hasn't returned yet, but people have been doing research on the image of the guy. They did a reverse image search on the guy who's the supposed time traveler. And turns out he might be this guy named like Stephen A. Miller, who passed away in 2018 and who was heavily researching time traveling. Like, he was so involved and so engrossed in it. Like, he just really wanted to know how it worked. Like, this guy was so fascinated by time traveling. Like, he figured out like how quantum physics work and everything. So now people are like kind of suspicious that this might be him. And like, It's crazy because it's visibly the same guy. And the guy who it's happening to, he has all of the footage to prove that he's not lying. He doesn't know what's going on. He even took his Airbnb listing off Airbnb because of it. And TMZ even posted about it.
Oh, yeah. I
just want to know where my people are at because I have nobody to talk to about this. Because everybody's talking about Kendrick and Drake.
Yo, I need to see the videos of this. Time travel real.
Hey, you still an ice wall denier? Well, if you are, you better start paying attention because they've been putting it in plain sight for decades. You see, not only do they mock it in their mockumentary movies, but they've been putting it right under your nose in commercials for kids. Commercials that...
This is random. This is real random. But I watched an anime called Attack on Titan before, and they had these like layers of walls, right? And what if this ice wall we have is to keep somebody out or to keep a certain type of people out because it's bad for us here? You know, they're trying to protect us here, but they don't really want to let us know. Nothing. I didn't really think about that before.
Not only mock us for how dumb they think we are, but commercials that literally tell us how they are trying to numb us from caring about figuring it out. And by the way, they consider us the cavity creeps.
As evening approaches Teutopolis, so do the cavity creeps.
Oh no! Cavity creeps!
Hurry, the crest zone.
I mean, I just had to point this out. Come on.
Cavity creeps spotted!
Holes in teeth! Holes in teeth!
Crest Flores camera will fix them!
Not crest!
Yay, crest!
Watch treats,
see your dentist,
and fight the cavity creeps like the crest team.
Fight cavities with crest!
It's funny, have you ever seen what happens to people who go too far south towards Antarctica?
That crest boat.
Ship. Funny, kind of looks like a Navy ship or submarine to me. But they're not shooting bullets at us. They're shooting things to numb our brains. Actual neurotoxins. Now, I don't want to go too deep down the rabbit hole on that because I have before and they take my video down. But if you haven't researched that and how it can calcify the pineal gland and cause all sorts of terrible other things, go research it. And I'm not joking, guys. Go buy this. It's right here. It's no BS toothpaste. I've been using fluoride-free toothpaste for a year now, and all the stuff I've ever used is like charcoal and disgusting. This stuff is literally amazing. You open it up, it's like a little piece of gum. You chew on it for 3 seconds, and it turns everything into like toothpaste, and you brush it, and it lathers up. It's amazing. I literally used it for the first time this week. I would recommend this even if I wasn't making $1 on it. I also wanted to recommend this Epic water filter. I couldn't find any fluoride filtering pictures or anything on TikTok. So this is just a company that I use that I want you guys to go because no one should be drinking or using toothpaste with fluoride. Okay? I don't know. I could say it 1,000 times. Stop doing it. Stop doing it. I literally have felt smarter since I stopped using any products with fluoride in it. And I'm not saying this to make money. I'm saying this because I care about humans. Stop using fluoride. And I will leave you with this lovely view of the actual ice wall, filmed from the Navy in 1957. It exists. And go to flatearthdave.com or to the App Store and go get this app. I want to keep telling people because the more people that have this, the more they can say, hey, brother, sister, friend, look at this proof. And just, it's so easy. It's at your fingertips. Here's my code, FITFLAT. Oh, and you guys know I was just kidding. Fluoride's great for you. I use it every day. Yum, 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 fluoride. Only for entertainment purposes.
All them winks.
Shit's getting weird. Part infinity.
Okay, this might be the biggest Instagram news yet. I had to pull over for this. With this change, pretty soon you're going to have to pay if you want more views or more followers. Soon they're going to be testing a new tiered option for Meta Verified where you can pay different monthly fees, and the more you pay, the better results you're going to get. This is freaking nuts. For $15 a month, you're still going to get the same thing that you got before, like the blue badge, impersonation protection, and chat support. Tier number 2 is that for $45 a month, you're going to get improved support, and you're going to be able to add links to 2 reels per month. You're also going to become a quote-unquote featured account. The third tier is $120 per month. It includes 4 links in your reels and some more additional benefits. And the top tier is $350 per month, and it includes 8 links in your reels and an annual profile review. It also says that the top tier is the quote-unquote most featured. Now, currently, this is just something that they're testing.
Hey, Instagram. You can go ahead and test these nuts. All right, listen. I don't even blame Instagram. I blame y'all. I blame y'all. Because the moment y'all started paying for verification badges, I knew the game was over. We're cooked. It's over. They're going to charge for everything now.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, y'all can pay for verification badges if you want to, but if your shit sucks, this ain't gonna help you. I'm just being honest. You don't need an app to verify you. You feel me? The people will verify you if your shit is good. Just focus on being who you are yourself and bring your originality to the fucking app. And I promise you, you'll be fine. Because all you're gonna do is just make Instagram richer.
Facebook.
We don't need that.
Facebook, not Instagram. Instagram's not even a real business. It's Facebook. It's Meta. They're all owned by Meta. We're making Meta richer at the end of the day, man. Yeah, they crazy. I ain't messing with Instagram, yo. Instagram ain't been good since Meta bought it, honestly.
Like, you know, I love that I'm doing clubs and stuff, but I feel like if I've been invited into the red room.
Yo, check out this crazy interview.
Yo. That's crazy. We've been saying this for a long time, you know, like there's rituals to be able to get into Hollywood or into anything, really. And it's like, I need to go find that real interview. Were they kidding or were they telling actual stories?
View of Michael Jackson's nephew telling what really happened, Michael. This is terrifying.
My uncle didn't die. He was murdered. I am a child of Neverland. I spent my whole life there. People forget that, you know, my uncle wasn't the type person to say, oh, you have to be invited to. It was my uncle's house. My uncle was a family man. And most of the time when people were up there, he wasn't there. Let's not forget there was probably 100 people with cameras.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not just saying
adults with cameras.
Yeah, so you have adults with cameras, you have family, you have mothers, children, and whenever he was there, it was for the public. When he dies, whatever was owned by the company reverts back. So they showed Wade burning the pictures of Michael and doing all this stuff. So why does the weirdo keep a ring? And let's be real, like I said, Neverland was a toy for my uncle. You think my uncle's gonna buy some little ring? This is a man who, for us as children, closed down malls and let us have free random run of the mall. He didn't bother us. He looked at us and said, the mall's closed down. Y'all go get what the hell y'all want. Tell me the price at the end. He was never that type person. He was no funny dude. My uncle was a man.
Y'all think that happened to Michael? I think it's something different than what they told us, for sure.
I'm going to say this very calmly. Because I'm very upset. And I want my words to come out the correct way in order to shed light on what needs to be done. America, there's no such thing as a silent genocide. There's no such thing, as a silent genocide. What's happening in Congo right now is not a silent genocide. It is world powers deciding to turn a blind eye to humans being slaughtered.
That's a fact.
Because it has no economic value to these world powers. I'm in America, and my tax dollars are being sent everywhere else to fight everywhere else, while 800,000 people in Congo have been slaughtered in supposedly a silent genocide. America, Joe, why aren't you talking about this, Joe?
Because Joe paid for it, man. You know the answer. Joe paid for it. Whoever's working for Joe knows. Everybody knows what's going on down there. They're like, I don't care, let them all die. That's literally how they feel about Africa, you know?
Oh. Now, there's two ways to go about this, because I'm for humanity, period. The color doesn't matter. But in this instance, it's quite alarming that when it's brown people, there is nobody talking about it.
Nobody.
So Mr. Joe in the White House, I think we need a statement about this and about what my tax dollars and millions of other Americans' tax dollars are doing, not going to stop this silent genocide. And I mean that. I'm out.
You know, man, the White House only cares about the northern hemisphere.
So we now have fish that are raining from the sky.
Bro.
What?
Man, have you ever seen the show Watchmen? Oh my gosh. They dropped all type of gems in Watchmen, but it was raining squid. And it was some weird stuff going on, you know, with like some portals, and some dude was doing it on purpose. He would be dumping squid into his portal and then he'd be dropping somewhere on some random city. I mean, who's to say they ain't doing that now?
And the cloudy with a chance of meatball is going on. Never have I ever seen tilapia, bass, whatever type of fish this is, raining from the sky. See, look, coming from the sky, bro. And this happened somewhere over there in the Middle East. This is absolutely crazy. And it's like we have end time signs doing the Cupid shuffle all over the world. Because never did I ever just see something like this. And I know some people gonna say, they throwing the fish. How's the fish dropping straight down? All the way over there in the back, on the other side. Which begs the question on how did these fish actually start raining down? Do we have fish that's swimming in the firmament? I know nobody was gonna ask it, but I'ma ask it.
Goes hand in hand with the brine pools.
If your car said fish raining from the sky, you can go and check that one off. I don't even think we could call it strange times, because strange things is nobody was gonna ask it, but I'ma ask it. And if your bingo card said fish raining from the sky, do we have fish that's swimming in the firmament? I know nobody was gonna ask it, but I'ma ask it. And if your bingo card said fish raining from the sky, you can go and check that one off. I don't even think we could call it strange times, because strange things is now normal nowadays. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts on fish raining from the sky in the comments. Like and follow for more wisdom, and stay tuned. It's definitely getting crazy out here.
You're telling me nobody is talking about the family of mermaid scuba divers just found in the Pacific Ocean?
Oh, a whole family? Oh snap, there go one. That's a cell tower. They got disguised as a whole tree out here.
Are you familiar with Hal Gabon?
Yes.
He wrote a book, he wrote The Prophet, in 1923, but he wrote another book called Sand and Foam. In that book, he told a story of a man who had been away from his family for 4 months working, and he was excited to come home, and as he was coming home, he knew that the mountain, when he saw the mountain, he was close to home. So his 5 senses started having a conversation, and his eyes says, I see a mountain, I see a mountain, I see a mountain. And so the ears perked out and said, I don't hear a mountain. The nose sniffed and said, I don't smell a mountain. The tongue tasted the air. I don't taste a mountain. And the other 4 senses started speaking among themselves, and they came to the conclusion that there must be something the matter with the eye, because they couldn't perceive it. But all of these things, we've been misled just because we've been fooled by our senses. Our eyes see 0.05% of the entire electromagnetic wave. We're blind cosmically, but we judge everything by what we see. And they've done that with science for so many years. You look at E = mc squared. That talks about expansion. It does not show how it's divided. You've never breathed in twice without breathing out. You breathe in and you breathe out. You charge and you discharge. So how is it that the breathing in, they're acting as if the universe is just expanding out, breathing out, and it's going to dissipate out, and they never include the contractive side of it, breathing in.
Yo, Terrence Howard was dropping some gems in that interview. I haven't even finished the full interview because it's like way too long, but I have watched a lot of it. He's definitely dropping gems, man. Not gonna lie. Didn't think Terrence Howard was as smart as he is. I mean, I wouldn't know anyway, but just from, seeing him acting, I'm just used to him being, Mr. Hustle and Flow, Mr. Iron Man, Mr. Iron Man. You know what I'm saying? Now, what is this? That can't be from the sun.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Whatever it is, it's very...
Disco party in the skies. RealH on Earth. How do people find this stuff? What? So my question, like with situations like this, right, on Google Earth, I think that's Google Earth he's using. Who actually goes around and takes the pictures? Like, who's walking around with a 360 camera into some little corridor like this and just decides to take the pictures? That's always been my question. Or is it like a little drone that they fly around or something? Oh, somebody's seeing you. They got their eyes on you. Oh, wait, that's probably the guy that was taking the pictures, wasn't it? Makes sense. Whoa. What is
Check
that?
this video out, guys. Now you know there's something going on with the sun when the elderly are speaking out about this. This lady is speaking on the sun, how she has never seen the sun do what it's doing right now. It looks like the sun is grabbing at something, which means it's pulsating, which we showed y'all that before. But she has been on this earth for almost 80 years, and she's never seen the sun do this. And she's also stated that the sun looks different. Like there's a bigger sun and a smaller sun, possibly 2 suns. Check this out, y'all.
Looking at, look at the sun right there. What's it doing? See that? It look like it's doing it.
Because it
That's
is.
what people say. That's what people are saying. Huh? Yeah, but don't stare at it too long. People say it's flashing too like that. So you've heard that before? Yeah. I've never seen that. And there's yellow spot all around. Look there.
You hear? There's a spot around the sun.
Grabbing at something. I have never seen it.
Imagine what she's seen, y'all. Total different sun. She stated that.
Smaller than it was. Because it was bigger when I looked at it the first time.
You see? Probably another sun, right? The sun changing, right? Sometimes there's a small sun in the sky. Sometimes there's a bigger sun in the sky. And she's talking about that, y'all. Y'all need to listen to the elder when they speak.
You know, because how long you been looking at it? I've been looking at it 20 minutes. No, I mean in your lifetime. No, I've never seen that before like that. I've never seen it like that. And I just went to open the curtains down there.
I'm gonna just put this out there, right? Shout out to Granny. But most people nowadays can't even sit down and look at anything for 20 minutes straight unless it's a television or a phone. You just think about that. Like, how many people are going outside and just looking at the sun for 20 minutes to actually observe what's going on with the sun for the whole 20 minutes? You know, people probably get like a good 30 seconds, start doing something else, looking around. You didn't miss something by now. You know, you look back up at the sun, so.
I couldn't get away from it.
New sun vibes, baby.
I've never seen no sun look like this. Now look at what it's doing. It's just rising, I guess. And something is over it or something, because it ain't keeping still.
Look, y'all hear that? It's not keeping still. That's because they're always chasing the sun with those planes, y'all. They're always trying to put those things in front of the plane. The sun is a sentient being. The sun is a sentient living being. It is conscious. It knows how to move. Y'all ever watch the sun do its thing in the daytime when it's being harassed by those planes? Y'all ever watch that? The sun literally moves from different positions, y'all. It's amazing. And here she is, like, literally telling y'all it's moving. But yes, listen to the elderly when they're speaking, because they have been on this earth for a very long time and they know these changes. But let me know what you guys think about this video. This video is strictly for entertainment purposes only. I am only raising awareness to interesting situations during this interesting times. Please like, comment, and share for more videos like this. Thank you for tuning to my frequency. Let's get this shift. Peace in.
Has anybody else ever noticed anything strange with the sun recently? It's another sun video.
This is what my cows are hiding from. I'm going to tag this creator. Go back and watch this video.
You see it pulsating? It was literally just pulsating. That's, man.
Oh my God. Is that your phone? Yeah, that's my detox thing. I'm supposed to detox right now.
How do you detox? You detox on a timer? What do you do?
There's, my wife got me these things, you know, because I'm supposed to take this.
What is that?
And
pure body extract.
And there's another one.
Advanced daily cellular detox. What's in this? Oh boy.
And this too.
What's in this stuff?
Just things to counteract the natural the metals that we have in our bodies that wear us out.
And you just take these periodically throughout the day on a timer?
I gotta do it now. Okay. I take a dropper, part of that dropper, and then 4 sprays, and it removes the parasites from your system. Like oil of oregano, like using oil of oregano instead of using antibiotics.
And have you felt an effect?
Yes.
Yeah? What do you feel when you take this
Well,
stuff?
I used to have really thick, dark circles under my eyes. That's gone away in the last 6 months. I've been using that. My skin, I'm 55 years old. I'm 55 years old and I smoke. Do I look like I'm 55 years old?
No, you don't. You look great.
Picture of what I used to look like. When my wife met me, I was 256 pounds. Now I'm intermittent fasting. I follow her routine. But she turned me from that into this. It's like she shined up.
Yeah, you look about 15 years younger. Now.
Yeah, and that's because of her. I still smoke my cigarettes.
Why do you do that?
I'm a crackhead. I don't know. Everybody has to have some vice. Like Alan Watts.
Yeah, everyone does have to have their vices though. But hey, I'm about to send this to my wife right now. Hold on, we finna detox. I need to get all of this stuff out of my system too. Next 6 months, huh? I think that's happening right now. I also think that's happening as well. That's about to happen. Whoa. You know, I never really thought about that because, you know, all of our internet cables go undersea, you know, lay on the ocean bed, go up to the next continent, you know, like from Europe to America, all these other places, right? Just imagine if something crazy happened underneath the sea, like a little earthquake or something underneath the sea and messed up the cables. We would be struck. That happens like every year, though. Not gonna lie. A young star? All right, let's see if these things come true. We got till August. August to see if them things come true.
Is the video in Las Vegas in that backyard edited, fake? What's your take on it?
No, there's no editing. That is an original video. We did a complete analysis of it, and we tried to debunk it to see if there was something that was added to the video. We used a vector tracking software that has an AI component to it, and all of our results came back as it was authentic. So there's something in that video. There's two things actually in that video. There's something that happens in the background, which I found initially, and I didn't even see or recognize the being or whatever it is above the fence until just a few weeks ago. It was pointed out to me by a subscriber to a friend of mine's podcast. But once you see it, you can't deny it. So there's actually two beings in the video at the same time, one in the background that I believe that the father is reacting to, and you can see it for just a split second when their heads separate, and at that same time, that's when the being or whatever it is comes above the fence. So I believe it's authentic,
like you said, there's a difference between the video being authentic, right, and what it actually shows. Because Ben, there's this researcher in Britain who agrees that the video hasn't been edited, but he thinks he knows what caused this shadow, that it might be from the flashlight. Let's listen to what he had to say.
The flashlight, huh?
Let's rotate it a little, and we do actually see the torch from our camera position. We can just see it about here, can't we? We can just see it over his right shoulder. The closer he is to the fence post, the quicker that shadow will move from right to left.
Now, Scott, I understand you spoke to him. Ben, I should say. I understand you spoke to him. Again, it doesn't necessarily mean that there's something not there, but do you think the shadow is just caused by the flashlight, Ben?
Yeah, I wanted to say congratulations, Scott and Finn, because a lot of people don't have the time to do this, and we have confirmed it's there. There's something there, but as you look at this analysis, the shadow and the light he's holding is casting through the slats of the gate, and the smudging that's appeared, I do believe, is a compression of the video because you don't have lighting up by the tree. So it doesn't mean, again, that what they were seeing in the backyard is something completely, totally different. They reacted to something, but I do believe what we're seeing near the fence is an effect caused by that shadow cast through the slats of the fence there. And when he moves, he recreated it in a software program that I'm convinced it's explainable.
See, so Scott, I'll allow you to jump in there. Here's the thing that I look at it. Whenever I look at it, I say to myself, these flying objects, these creatures, they match what our understanding of them are in our popular culture, right? What we think of aliens, what we think of UFOs. What we're seeing right now matches up, and I wonder, Is that awfully convenient? What came first? The movies, our understanding of it, or this? You see, that's why I think people are suspicious. Like, you see these, and like, of course they're going to say a tall, lanky creature or small, green creature. That's why people, I think, are skeptical of it. But I'll give you a chance to respond to that.
Well, let me address the shadow issue first.
Sure.
The way shadows work, right? You have a light source, and then you need an object, and then the object casts a shadow. And for that shadow to appear, it needs a surface. Now, this shadow that appears above the fence does not have a surface to reflect upon. Just everybody's seen your shadow when you're walking on the street and the sun's up here and your shadow's on the ground. If there's no ground there, there's no shadow. So I don't understand how the shadow could just be floating above the fence. I don't believe that makes any sense to me. And I would say, as a reconstruction expert, we have to do experimentation. So if you have a hypothesis that the shadow being or whatever this is was caused by a light source, replicate it. And if you can do an experiment to replicate it, then I will give it validity. But until an experiment is done to say that under similar conditions you can have that same effect, I don't think that it has.
Can you expand upon that technology that you mentioned?
The software that we used?
Yeah.
We used a software that tracks motion. And not only does it track motion, but it shows that where the motion is coming from. So we have the shadow that we can see through the slots of the fence, and then we see coming into the screen from right to left, and it's on the frame for 24 frames out of 30 for 1 second, and in that shadow, the pixels have been. And I have no explanation for it. The pixels have been diminished or deleted by up to 33%. And I have, so if you look at a shadow that's like, for example, on the left side of the screen,
that's crazy.
The younger brother's back, that pixel is in full opacity. But when we looked at the shadow appear to the right, those are very odd. And there is an anomaly in there. If you look at, there's two little marks on the top of the head, and we isolated that in my 27-minute video of the full breakdown, and that is not part of this background. There is no tree, limb, branch, or anything that can reflect what that is. So the only thing that I could surmise, and it's a hypothesis, I don't know if this is true or not, but my hypothesis is if there is a cloaking technology, and we here on Earth, our military, we have cloaking technology, it could be a...
Scott, I just have a question about it, because when looking at the video, what is this alien technology on the left? Just for people who are tuning in and saying, wait a minute, is that a real alien we're looking at? What is this technology we're looking at?
Well, I don't know what the technology is, but what it's doing is diminishing the ability of the camera to fully capture the image, making it a smoky, blurry image. And that seems to be consistent with what a lot of people say when they have encounters, is that...
So what I'm talking about, I'm sorry, let me be clear. The animation on the left that we're seeing, just again, what is that? So people can understand when they're tuning in.
Okay. Sure. What we've done is we took the vector motion points in space, which are like little X's when we identify them, and then we attach that to a figure in the background to show that the movement of the shadow reflects the movement of a body that is attached to the head. So we don't believe it's a floating head. We believe that that head is attached to a body, and the motion of that head from right to left is consistent with the motion that we see between the slots of the fence. And it's there, it's absolutely there. And if you look at the reaction of the family, it's incredibly consistent with being...
Yo, I think that's from that old video, right? Back when, they said something crashed in their backyard or something like that, and everyone was trying to say, like, they was lying, and they put the YouTube video out, and then, like, disappeared for a while. What y'all think, man? I'm not going to say that it is or that it ain't, but it looked like there was something there. And if it is something like that, Or it doesn't have to be a tall, gray alien either. You know, it could be a humanoid or somebody that look like us, very advanced, but they want to cloak themselves because they don't want to be seen. I could see that too. You know, if they got the technology to have UFOs, apparently they must have the technology to cloak themselves. But yeah, I don't know. That's the first time I'm really hearing about this video since it actually came out a while ago.
Terrence Howard lied? Yo, you guys all know this man right here. This is his page. This is his face. Go watch this video. The PR against Terrence Howard, making him seem like he's a liar and all this shit. He has no PhDs. Bruh, how about you prove he doesn't have 97 patents?
You know what's crazy, right? Is a person in this country or just in this society will judge you or your brilliance off of some letters. You don't have a PhD. I have a PhD. What was your thesis paper on? You know what I'm saying? Like, that don't mean that I don't have more knowledge than you. You just were able to memorize a lot of stuff that teacher told you to memorize. So now we can call you a PhD. You got good memory. That's one thing you got.
That he can prove he has. How about you prove that? How about you prove and watch that whole Joe Rogan podcast? Because how peculiar is the timing of this? And this comes across my FYP, slandering Terrence Howard. People, let me tell you, I now will never watch anything. He's blocked. This guy is blocked off my page. And let me tell you, the majority of influencers that you guys follow or propagate up that never get their accounts banned, let me tell you, they're making content to sway your mind. Mm-hmm. Yeah, social media has informants now. Yeah, Pearlmania, Under the Desk News, another one now. Remember, they will reveal themselves the second they open their mouths. Let me tell you, woke community, if you think Terrence Howard is a liar, watch him talk. As a person who remembers the equation to pi, a liar, you know who is a liar? The people that try to give him all this domestic violence shit. Mm-hmm. You know who is a liar? How Robert Downey Jr. turned his back on him. Why don't you talk about that? Go to this guy's page and watch this video. The Terrence Howard propaganda has started. People, watch how they try to villainize this man. They're going to try to ostracize him. I can't believe it. One fucking day after the Joe Rogan podcast with Terrence Howard, and now the slander has begun. People, protect this man. Protect Terrence Howard. Terrence, get the fuck out of America. Straight up. Go back to Africa. Go back to, I think you.
Not gonna lie, bro. That was bad. But you just said. I know that's not what you meant because he's over there working. But when you say that, that's a soundbite that someone gonna snatch. Go back to Africa.
Gone to the country where you got the tangential flight? Yeah, go help their economy. Fuck America. America don't deserve you.
Very true.
Straight up. They don't even respect what you do. I knew it was coming. I didn't think it was going to be one fucking day. Peace to God.
Oh, you better take a video of this one. Mm-hmm.
Disneyland always got issues like this. Yo, this has happened before, too.
It's moving. Can you see how it's like it's spinning?
Yeah.
So I'm not tripping, right? No, you're not tripping. You're not alone. And it is actually moving. It's not in the same spot.
I don't know what that is. I done seen it before. It's crazy.
That is crazy. And is it getting bigger? Mm-hmm. The shape is changing.
Wow.
Oh no, do we want to be out here?
That would creep me out. I'd be ready to go home.
They don't want us truly connected, truly aware of our powers and capabilities. I definitely am not a subscriber of any organized religion.
but I definitely believe in a God, a creator, in the divine. I believe a lot of these lies, or a lot of what you see in the mainstream, is to get us to collectively deny that fact, to turn away from that divine creator, and with it, our true connection to this realm. They want us to think we don't matter, that we're just hurtling on a giant rock in a vast sea of nothingness. And everything happened by just some big coincidence. It all disconnects us from that divine cycle that everything else on this realm thrives in. You disconnect us from that cycle, lie to us about our history, and you have your mass of unquestioning, loyal worker drones that not only never questions the narrative, but goes after anyone that does. They don't want free thinkers working in their factories. That is, of course, my opinion anyways. It is far more than just history. That is nothing more than a set of lies agreed upon. Question everything, friends. Until next time.
So I just want to know what turned everything to stone back then.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Wait, for real? Yo, man, Orlando Brown, I don't know.
So my mother was showing me that she opened the banana, that she thinks that these are not real bananas. We got it from the supermarket, but when she opens it and she breaks it in half, it gets very tough and doesn't really break.
Oh, no.
And when it pulls, it's like it's glue.
That's
it's
plastic.
Very tight and doughy.
Ew,
I know goddamn well. It's raining in every spot but on that damn Cheeto. Do y'all see this shit?
Whoa, that is
this
true.
Cheeto is like protected in this circle. What the hell going on?
Yo, Cheeto's got a force field.
Ay, pero por mucho, ¿por qué hacen Mira.
No guac for me. No guac for me. I'm cool. What's that? Some pop rocks or something in there. Look at that. You know what? And I didn't have a watermelon like that. And I threw that shit away. That is nasty. What is that rubber? Yeah, I'm good on the rubber fruits. Oh, them was blowing up.
So I bought a watermelon from what's it called? Sam's. And I cut it and I was cutting it and this is what I found.
Ugh. I done seen watermelons like that too.
This is even a watermelon or something else. I mean, is this like something they created in a lab? What the heck is this? It's an alien thing. This was my watermelon from Sam's. I shall be taking it back to Mama.
Yo, we got GMO fruits. We got lab-grown meats. Everything's grown in the lab. We got lab-grown people. Lab-grown animals. I mean, that's clearly a tree, guys. Clearly. Yo, what the? Giant scorpions and spiders? So wait, the truck was in one image, but it wasn't in the next. Did you? I don't know if y'all seen that. But that's crazy though. What's this, little people? Yo, what's going on? Yeah, that thing's cloaked. That's not no normal cloud just moving. It's something to that. Look at that. Look how it's moving. About to take off. Anybody else ever seen it? If you see this, you know it's not a cloud, man. Oh, wow. What kind of storm is that?
So Stephen Gray has dropped a new alien photograph. It's named EBE in a field. So go to dpiarchive.com, go to the top left, click on that, click on archive. So I think it's second from the bottom, it's called UFOs Worldwide or something like that. Click on that, there's a list of UFOs. One of the ones I liked was the UFO in Brazil 1958. That looked like a really good photograph. And there's one titled EBE. Now there is a search bar at the top. So if you click on that and then click EBE, I think just EBE, it'll come up with that. Click on it, it's got 4 photographs of a field. I'm not sure where, it possibly does tell you. And it's got grey alien, 2 grey aliens, possibly 3. I couldn't quite make it out, but it does look a little bit sketchy, I'll be honest with you, but if it's real, wow. Is that what they look like then, when you're trying to observe? It look like they were sort of floating and stuff like that. I would screenshot it and put it on this channel. However, it did say when I logged in, this is like copyrighted material and stuff like that and can't be shared. So I'm a bit unsure whether I can share anything from that website yet. I don't want to share anything and then it get me in any trouble or anything like that, or any lawsuits just for sharing a picture. So I'll wait for other people to maybe share that. So yeah, go to that website, check out that alien picture. Is it real? I don't know, but it's interesting to go and look at. And check out the 1958 Brazil photograph.
Yeah, let's check them photos out, y'all. Celebrities are making bunkers due to an upcoming flood. Mud flood, anybody? Tartaria, anybody? I think there's many floods that happen, many of them. And there's another one coming. You know, I don't know if there's going to be floods like everywhere. What if, dang, that would be crazy, like if the whole world flooded, you know? But like there's nowhere safe. I'm not ready for that. So it said a guest spoke with Ryan Lil Manzi, and asked questions that we got answered. Live went to loading mode. Then it ends. I need to see the live. Anybody else seen a Ryan Garcia live? I don't be watching lives like that. I should probably start tuning in. What's this?
What the heck?
Something trying to blast through the firmament?
Oh, hay dos luces. Oh my God.
Yeah, something definitely trying to get through something. I don't know what them somethings are.
Okay, ya voy. That was crazy.
Okay, so this is part 2 of exposing grocery stores. So as I showed y'all before, what we do is called reworking. So we taking out the moldy stuff in here, throwing it away, and then putting it and saving some of it in here, or it go back on the floor. So, you know, you have stuff like this, nasty, moldy.
That's exactly why I don't like to get strawberries. Like I go to Walmart and you just pick one box up and just look around and it's just moldy and nasty all. Man, I do not like buying strawberries.
Away, and then the rest we put it, sometimes we put it on the floor or we put it in this, and this becomes this. Cut up, sold for way more money. Same with the blueberries. We go through the blueberries. It's bad. This is no good. We go through it, take it out, throw it away, put it back on the floor for y'all to eat.
Some of the features of the Grand Canyon couldn't be hidden. That's why they restricted them. Before they restricted them, we have a chance to see our past, ancient civilizations, from their monuments, as photographed by John Wesley Powell, to their deities, forever cast in stone, to a Moor's king's ransom of unfathomable wealth stored within these structures, made into vaults. All are now be petrified. Remains, be it the rubble, albeit the features that just can't be hidden nor destroyed, are petrified forever. They are the Grand Canyon.
Yo, there's so much more to the Grand Canyon than we know.
I was seeing a video from 3 months ago of a YouTuber that infiltrated the Bohemian Grove. Upon infiltration, he had discovered a whiteboard. Whose name was listed on that whiteboard, you may ask? I'll give you a guess.
Josh Peck.
Josh Peck listed on Bohemian Grove's whiteboard. Crazy.
Check this out, y'all. Look at this. Y'all seen this? Do y'all see that? Hold on, let me slow it down for y'all. Check this out. Remember, they said these people will start showing themselves. Do you guys see that?
Demon face?
Bro. And that's not a filter neither. Because as soon as she seen this, like she tried to hide her face. Y'all see that? It's literally like Blade, bro. Are you kidding me?
Oh,
bro,
snap.
look at her hands. Look at her hands when it comes out the jacket pocket, y'all. Look at, again, she tries to hide her face. They literally are amongst us. Look at that, huh? Bro, when they said we were going to start seeing these people, I didn't think it was going to be this quick. But look at that, y'all. It looks like Baraka from Mortal Kombat. She literally looks like Baraka from Mortal Kombat.
Oh, snap. Ain't lying.
She's tall, too, bro. She's lanky. So what do you guys make what's going on here? Again, he ran into her when he was on her way home, trying to ask her what kind of music she listened to, and he was met with this surprise, and she was surprised as well, y'all. Look at this, y'all. It's great. I told y'all, our life is a movie. The movie they live is now starting to show itself, y'all. The movie they live, right? The people with the eyes to see are going to see clearly now who really are these people. Age of Aquarius is going to show you some things you really aren't ready for, y'all. But let me know what you guys think about this video. This video is strictly for entertainment purposes only. I am only raising awareness to interesting situations during this interesting times. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Like, comment, and share for more videos like this. Thank you for tuning to my frequency. Let's get this shift. Peace in.
Yeah.
What about the ear pods?
Ear pods is worse than the cell phone. It's microwave just stuck in your ear.
Damn.
Yeah,
man.
that's why. Yeah. So if you look at my Beats by Dre, I actually got these EMF protectors on them. They sell EMF protector stickers, but you have to test them. I done found one that really work. I tested it with my meter. It don't give off no frequency. When I take it off in their own, it reads like 181. But once I put the sticker on, it goes down to 3. So that's a major difference. So you have EMF stickers you can stick on these devices. Do you got? Now B got one on his phone. Let me see yours. Let me see yours. Show it to the camera. So here go one right here. If you look, this is an EMF sticker on the back of the phone. We tested them. So when the phone ring, without it on, it would shoot the meter up. I got the meter off of Amazon. It was $399, but a good meter. But the moment you put the sticker on and call it, the meter go down to about 6. It's still reading, but it's not reading 300 or it's not reading 192. So you can put these on your headphones. You can put these on your phones. I got several of them on my laptop, and then I never keep this stuff on my persons at all.
Get your EMF stickers for real. Yo, everybody wears AirPods nowadays, like literally everybody.
So let's talk about it. PayPal is laying off 2,500 employees. Activision laid off their entire staff except for 12 people. Sports Illustrated, entire staff. Twitch, 500 people. Spotify, 17% of their staff. Now, Google just laid off 1,000 employees, but apparently they're gearing up to lay off even more. But UPS, 12,000 jobs cut. Now, if you're new here, you probably haven't seen my video on The Wizard of Oz, where I was telling y'all that it was basically a documentary of what they did to the American people to enslave us. They created chaos, and then they provided a solution. During that time, what was happening was a Great Depression. The stock market crashed. The country was bankrupt. Did y'all catch that Freudian slip? Yeah. They was changing the money system, so everybody had to come down and turn in their silver and their gold. What's crazy is they had more money than we have right now, right? What they had was equivalent to still making $80,000 a year. We're nowhere near that. And the CEOs are talking about it in our face. They basically saying that after COVID, we didn't want to come back to work, so they're going to force us into a recession. And I'm not saying this to fearmonger. I am telling y'all this because there is a universal law called the law of courage. And it says that fear departs where action is present. Y'all need to start preparing now. If you are a creator on this app, get on TikTok Shop. Go to Product Marketplace. Find a product that you're already using. Do a review on it. There is so much money to be made through TikTok Shop, so much so that Jeff Bezos is allegedly lobbying on both parties, on both sides of the parties, to get TikTok taken down. On some why your hand in my pocket type shit. Now, it's been started with inflation and everything, but now they're not hiring people. Apparently, Indeed is not even turning in applications to jobs. I don't think that's a coincidence. But history is repeating itself. Back then, what they created was the Social Security system. When they came in and signed up for the benefits that was going to solve all of their problems, they signed over their rights. They stopped being Americans and they went to U.S.citizens, which are employees of the country. Keep your peepers peeped. Whatever they are offering, do not fucking fall for it. And it's not going to be easy because a lot of us is not going to have money because they're literally not even trying to fucking hire us. They're saying it in our face. So you need to learn how to provide a service. You need to get on TikTok Shop, find a product, figure out what your skills are and use them. You've been sleeping on yourself too fucking long. But do something before it's too late. Me personally, I'm about to stop buying from these mega corporations because they literally own everything. They just create this illusion of separation. There is no illusion. Degree, Dove, all of them, all that shit is owned by the same company. If we stop putting money in their pocket, we take their power away. Because we are the fucking money. We just keep freely giving it to them so that they can make decisions for us. No more. Have you seen this video of the Leviathan or Leviathan or Tongue, whatever it's called, attacking this ship in the Bermuda Triangle? Well, anyways, it created waves, and just look at this. The government's not telling us something.
One of them containers finna fall.
The footage, they were all dead.
Wait, what did he say at the end?
Coming this way.
So he's saying he went through dimensional space?
Oh, whoa. Is that the footage? It looks like it has legs. camera descending. The camera did not survive the landing.
Huh?
Neil Armstrong pictured after the flight. Visibly shaken from what he saw. Armstrong was given memory drugs.
Memory drugs?
Armstrong was then transferred to the space program on September. Okay, so that was a very simple premise, but I already have an enormous amount of questions. All right, so let's start.
Right, like, I don't know what that was, really. Or that was Armstrong? I thought that said Admiral Byrd or something like that. Y'all let me know. Has anyone ever seen that before? Like, that was my first time ever seeing that.
Somebody explained this.
All right.
Go to October in the year 1582.
Oh, okay. We're going back in time. You know, it might take a little while
just
to get there. He's actually moving kind of fast. I feel like we just jumped past the whole 1600s.
Did they just skip 11 days, or was it a glitch in the Matrix?
Okay, y'all see that? Dang. So on October 5th of 1582 through the 14th, those days are all gone in the calendar. How do you account for that? Because it looks like it keeps going up and up and up and up. What happened to those days? Something's up with the calendar, guys. Unless that's just like a glitch on their phone. I'm about to look on my phone
So
soon
some big
too.
news is coming out here. It's named the Reigns List. Now, I've never known it be called the Reigns List. I've known it as other little things. It's about these satanic rituals, these cults, the abuse of the children and stuff that's been going on for decades. And lists have come out now with names of people. All I suggest to people is go and research Reigns and look at those lists that are being leaked out. I can't go into too much details on here. But these people, okay, what I know, a lot of this has been going on the dark web, the deep web. This is where all these really horrendous, sick to your stomach videos get put. You don't see them on the normal web, which is 5% of the internet. Remember that. Only 5% of the internet is the normal web. 95% of it is the deep dark web that you don't.
I don't even be on the deep dark web. Anybody else go on the dark web? I'm kind of scared to see what it. Whoa, that would be crazy. Go on the dark web, do a whole reaction video to stuff you see on there. It's probably some creepy, crazy stuff on there.
Let's see. That not most people can't get on. You know, your mums, your dads, your uncles. Most people, you have to be a bit savvy to be able to work the dark web. That's where they put it all. Not on the Google and stuff like that. So you go and research the Reigns list and look at who the names on there, their positions of power. It's very interesting, and this is probably where a little bit of the catastrophic disclosure could come out. Totally unrelated to the UFO stuff, but connected, if you know what I mean. At the same time, it's too much to go into. I've only just been shown not long ago the video for it, but I know all about it. I just didn't know it was called the Rains List. So yeah, I'm going to put a longer video together. You can do 60-minute videos on TikTok now, so I'll have to go into a deeper hole with this. But I've got to be careful with it and how I approach it for this platform. So yeah, go and check out the Rains List.
So this is wild. In Hollywood right now, you are seeing a lot of celebrities losing weight, right? And they're using a supplement called Ozempic, correct? And you're seeing these celebrities' face start to look sucked up like this. Let's have a look at what they're calling this Ozempic face, but there's something a little more crazy to this story. It's not that they're saying it might not actually be what they're saying. But let's have a look at what they're looking at right now. Check this out. So they're saying that these celebrities are, you see that the before and after, right? But they're calling it Ozempic face, meaning they got on Ozempic, they lost weight, and now their faces are looking pretty scary, right? But that's not the crazy part. There are whispers, and you guys are going to understand this. There are whispers that these celebrities used to use something else to stay youthful. They were using something else to stay young, but that island got shut down.
That's what it is, huh?
Now, do you know what I mean? So this might not actually be Ozempic face. This might be because they cannot get access to something else. This is wild, y'all. I'm out.
Oh, wow. Where is this at? We got a Sphinx somewhere. Unexcavated Sphinx somewhere. They look identical. Like, how could you say it's not? Don't that look like a pyramid too over there? Maybe. Maybe I'm tripping. What y'all think? Think that's a Sphinx?
I'm Bradley. That's why we're gonna start making noises from the back. Bro, they found his name, bro. Everyone's saying Google this guy.
That's disgusting, bro.
Whatever your name is, if you're watching this, forgive me. Invite me over for some tea. We got a lot of talking to do, bro.
Yeah, you're so stupid.
Bro, wait, why, Bradley? Why are you so quiet, bro? You're nervous?
Bro, I'm just like, this is a trip.
This is a trip. Bradley, where you going? You don't want to do this one?
There's a stairwell right there, too, if you guys want to go in the stairwell.
Wait. What was that all about?
You're going down a satanic spiritualism in portal opening hole. I know I'm gonna have to really choose these words wisely because there's spilling tea and then there's kicking over the fucking bucket of tea. I know for sure, it's a fact, numerous witnesses to this. One of the biggest pop stars in the world right now, big, huge, fucking huge, had an incestual relationship with a biological family member, and you can find nothing about this family member anywhere. If you're leaning into the fucking people pulling the strings, calling the shots, whatever, to me, the level of success of this individual, knowing what I know, that's like some selling your soul type shit.
How do you? Well, I figured you would know.
I know it from people that went way back with these individuals. Yeah, it's fucking insane. And how this hasn't got out, because here's the thing, if I know, 100 people know.
Right. Somebody gotta know. That's weird.
But I haven't spoken directly because I don't know what to say.
I may not be the first one to say it. Definitely not going to be the last. But the whole Diddy situation, right? Y'all realize that this is just like the first of thousands. Anyone realize that Ellen DeGeneres has been real quiet lately?
I just wanted to say the past 11 days have been really tough for everyone. But to honor Twitch, I think the best thing that we can do.
Communication. They checked around Twitch and Allison's home looking for any clues.
The 911 call from the motel had come in just shortly after Allison had contacted the cops. So
You know Ellen's like the Oprah of the talk show world, right? She's rubbed elbows with every A-lister you can think of, including Mr. Puff Daddy himself. And we're not talking a casual run-in here and there. No, Diddy practically had a VIP seat on Ellen's couch, making appearances left and right. But here's where things take a spicy turn. Turns out Ellen wasn't just sipping tea with Diddy, she was getting down at his infamous freak-off parties. But now that's raised even more suspicion on what else these two were doing together. If Ellen was at those parties, she must have seen some messed up stuff, and there's word going around about an alleged Diddy and Twitch affair. And there's definitely a pattern there, cause why do so many people around him meet the same end? Twitch died, and Diddy and Ellen might have something to do with it. Well, now there's chatter that he might have known a little too much about Ellen and Diddy's shenanigans, and that's why he got silenced for it. So it seems like everyone's caught in the whirlwind of Diddy's drama these days, and Ellen's name just got tossed right into the mix. But let's rewind a bit and talk about Ellen's ties to Diddy. They go way back. Diddy's hit up Ellen's show more times than we can count, and he's always throwing invites her way. Remember that time Ellen straight up asked Diddy about his birthday bash invite? Classic. Diddy swore he's been inviting her, but she's been a no-show, or so he says.
So tell me about your birthday party. Am I invited?
Yes. Yes, you're definitely invited. I invite you to all my parties. You just haven't seen me show up.
No, well, is it on the East Coast?
Yes.
Well, that's why. Why don't you have one here on the West Coast? Because I work all the time.
Okay, well, maybe I have one at your house.
Where's that? Now, what time would your party start, let's say?
Like 9:30.
Really? That early?
Yeah.
I could make that.
Yeah.
But here's the kicker. Rumor has it Ellen's been hitting up Diddy's parties, just not the ones you'd see on daytime TV. During one interview, Diddy hinted at a whole different party scene that goes down after hours. And Ellen, well, she didn't miss a beat. Tried to play it off like she was in on the joke, but we all know there's some truth behind every laugh.
But I think of you of starting a party at like midnight. Like, what time will it go till?
That's a different type of party.
Uh-huh.
No, it'll go from like 9:30 to like maybe 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And then, you know, we have the top 2 floors of the hotel.
Mm-hmm. And then it will carry on there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then no, I mean the after party.
Mm-hmm. No, I know about them. I'll listen to the music. I've heard that song, After Party.
Now there's this viral paparazzi footage making the rounds, and it's got everyone talking. Paparazzi caught Ellen slipping, and they didn't hold back. They grilled her about those allegations against Diddy, and let me tell you, she was looking stressed. People are scratching their heads, wondering why Ellen suddenly goes into panic mode at just the mention of Diddy's name.
Ellen, were you surprised by the allegations about P. Diddy? Did that surprise you about P. Diddy? He's been on your show many times. Have a good night. Have you been to his parties?
The reporter drops the bomb, asking Ellen straight up if she's surprised by the allegations against P. Diddy. This is where it gets fishy. Ellen's stammering, looking like she's about to bolt. Something's definitely not adding up here. Fans are doing some serious detective work, digging into Diddy and Ellen's connection. And let me tell you, they're finding some juicy stuff. Turns out these two have more in common than...
Yo, they the bosses of the whole thing right there. Where is this? This was Antarctica, right?
This TikTok famous dog is becoming self-aware.
Dog, why?
So Bunny was given all of these buttons, and if you press them in the right order, you can make a sentence out of them. People believe that Bunny has learned English through using these buttons. And Bunny's famous for doing that and correctly making sentences that make sense with what the owner is asking them. But it's becoming a little concerning because it seems like Bunny is now, like, self-aware. Almost as if there's a human trapped inside. but it's really bumming the dog out to the point where she's on antidepressant pills. I'm not even joking.
That's Bunny. That's Bunny.
Wait a minute. They're trying to say that it's a human spirit inside of the dog?
Let me know what you think about this situation, and follow my TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube for more. It really helps when you interact.
Dude, you guys showed me, one of you showed me the commercial from back in the day.
Dude, that fucking commercial is insane.
What?
Because it looks amazing.
What? There's an old commercial from the 90s of like alien reptilian, and this thing is like spot on. And a lot of people say like this is like really an old commercial that featured a reptilian.
I'm telling you,
that like time passed and we just forget about it.
When I see it, I'm telling you, like when I look at it on the phone, it creeps me out.
Hey, little dude, send your mama and daddy out of the room. I gotta get you up on this. You know who I am. Snake, dealing in weed, coke, crack, your choice. Take one hit and you'll do anything to cop more. Steal from your mama, lie, cheat on your homeboys. But hey, that's the price you pay when you deal with dudes like me. Now, some folks will tell you that I'm dealing in poison. But hey, do I look like the kind of guy that would do that to a kid like you? Yes!
Yo, no, that was crazy.
President Teddy Roosevelt sought to protect the Grand Canyon from timber and mining operations. Explorer G.E. Kincaid, anticipating the closure, mounted an expedition to the area to find minerals. But what he discovered there was something completely unexpected. Approximately 40 miles upriver from El Tovar Crystal Canyon, Kincaid observed unusual sediment stains, and upon investigation found a cavern entrance with steps leading to it, suggesting a man-made structure. Inside, Kincaid found writings on the walls not in English or Native American scripts, but in ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics. This finding suggested a historical connection far beyond local or known civilizations. The cave system revealed a vast underground city, estimated to house up to 50,000 people, complete with granaries, cooking areas, and artifacts indicating a sophisticated society with knowledge of metalwork and possibly agriculture. Among the findings were granaries with preserved seeds, tools made of copper indicating a lost art of hardening the metal, and various artifacts that pointed to a technologically advanced civilization. The complexity of the cave system with engineered passageways and rooms challenged contemporary understandings of ancient civilizations in North America. Kincaid's findings led to a Smithsonian expedition led by Professor S.A. Jordan, which further explored the cave system, uncovering a central chamber with a statue resembling Buddha, hinting at a cultural amalgamation or influence from distant lands. The artifacts and the layout of the cave suggested a deliberate, sophisticated design, contradicting the notion of an isolated or primitive local civilization. Despite significant discoveries, mainstream researchers and the Smithsonian have labeled the account as a hoax and dismissing the claims of an advanced civilization predating Native Americans in the Grand Canyon, and the possibility of ancient transoceanic contacts that might have influenced pre-Columbian American civilizations. Any and all attempts to further explore or validate Kincaid's findings face governmental restrictions, with areas off limits for exploration. This remarkable discovery aligns with local tribal legends, such as those of the Hopi, suggesting a historical basis for tales of ancient peoples and non-human entities emerging from the Grand Canyon, blending myth with tangible archaeological intrigue.
Yo, ancient Egypt was here. Yo, dead man walking. Y'all see that? That's a walking tornado. Is this recent? I know there was a lot of storms in Texas recently, but it's been a lot of storms in Texas for a while now, actually. Man. So tornadoes, as destructive as they are, they fascinate me still. It's like a vortex or something. You know, and I know they say it's because of, you know, the weather conditions, hot and cold or whatever like that. But I feel like there's a bigger, like there's something else that, you know, we don't know about that causes tornadoes. Something with that vortex and the spin. And I think it's just because I watched that Terrence Howard interview, and that's what he's talking about, a lot of vertices and vortexes and all of that. So maybe that's why.
Since I've been on the subject of the Met Gala, I just feel like every single year I have the same thought, and that this is literally the Hunger Games. And this year proves no different. First of all, Lucy Gray is literally in the Capitol. Look at what they literally had at this Met Gala. Yes. Even last year when Doja Cat wore this cat look. Like, tell me this does not remind you of Tigress in Hunger Games.
So Usher's got some really good songs and hits, but there's something really creepy about this particular video recorded in this year's Met Gala. Check this out.
Usher! Hey! I'm doing well, how are you? I'm good, I'm good.
Good to see you, baby.
Please tell me about your look.
Alexander McQueen, it's a one-of-one. Sean McGuire and myself decided to put this amazing thing together.
So he's being super nice to this person, he's answering all her questions. Up until now, everything is as it should. But then, this happens. Pay very close attention.
Exotic, romantic, and but still within the garden theme.
And tell me about
It's all a part of it. Just everything. You're looking at I mean, this is a true thought, like a cohesive, full thought. You know.
So he begins explaining how everything that you're looking at is a cohesive, full thought when she asks him about his grills. It's quite weird. When he's talking about it, I feel as if he's talking about something else and not the grills itself.
Right.
And then this happens.
How did you interpret the theme tonight?
Just as that. I wanted it to be exotic. There's all different types of gardens. Some of them get a little dark, but you gotta have fun, right?
What is going on here? What exactly is he talking about? And if we zoom in this particular moment, you'll notice that we can't see his pupils. It's as if his eyes went full dark. As if he's not even human, or at least this is what a lot of people on the internet are saying. Is he maybe using some sort of lens, or is there something else entirely going on here, something far more sinister? What's your take?
Yo, my take is something happened to Usher once he got his little residency in Vegas. He got the whole little Super Bowl, you dig? Yeah, there's definitely something going on with Usher. Y'all let me know what y'all think it is, though.
9 pillars of light were seen in the skies in Japan. And everyone is going crazy over this. They say it's an alien invasion, but these 9 streaks of light, there's a science behind it. Supposedly, these are called light pillars, and they're a natural phenomenon where the boats actually cast the light and it goes up into the sky and it gives this effect. So I looked up some pictures. There are some pictures. Now, what is seen right here, these 9 pillars that appeared in Japan, these look different in my opinion. But check this video out. Also, a meteor shower was captured, which was pretty phenomenal as well.
That's a meteor shower. Guys, look at this. This is real life.
But what do you think? Do you think that this is truly an alien invasion, like everyone's saying, or do you think that it's these light pillars cast from the boats? That's what the light pillars look like.
Yeah, I've seen light pillars before. No, those don't look like light pillars.
You want to hear a conspiracy theory about the Met Gala? I think that they picked the dress code in order to get Zendaya into John Galliano. The theme of the night was Sleeping Beauties, but according to reporting in The Cut, Anna Wintour and head curator Andrew Bolton wanted the theme to be John Galliano, but members of the board were like, nah, he's problematic, we can't do it. So they chose Sleeping Beauties in honor of garments that can't be worn anymore. But then they added this dress code, right? This dress code based on a 1962 short story by J.G. Ballard, who's a sci-fi author who wrote dystopian stories about class hierarchies often and their inevitable conclusions. And the story is like so wildly on the nose. It's literally about a count and countess who hoard beauty as a means of keeping the angry masses at bay. This count and countess live in this beautiful estate villa, and on the horizon, an angry mob is approaching. And so to keep the mob from approaching their villa, the Count picks these time flowers. He has this special garden of time flowers. They don't regrow, but every time he picks one, it turns back time. And so it's like they're keeping the masses at bay by like robbing the garden of its beauty and its time. And like the elites at Vogue and Met and like whoever's in charge of picking the dress code, like being so boldly on the nose about your wealthy, extravagant greed, like, can't be the only reason you pick that story, right? Like, you gotta pick it to get Zendaya into the Galliano because, and I'll show you the other dress too, right? Perfect for the Garden of Time. And so when they figured out they couldn't honor Galliano the way that they wanted to, did they just pick a story that would lead the people to wear Galliano anyways? And not just anybody, like Zendaya the co-chair, Bad Bunny the other co-chair, and then of course Galliano himself showed up with Kim Kardashian, as you do. I wrote a whole essay about it because like it's actually mind-boggling, and I labored very hard to come up with a positive outcome to try and take some silver lining from this malarkey, because outside the Met steps people were protesting Palestine. They're saying like, hey, what the actual flip is happening here? This is madness. This is Hunger Games level. And I believe we need to like find a silver lining in all of this, because otherwise we're gonna go crazy. Go read the short story, read the essay and read the short story, and like see if you can find your own silver lining in it. But the one that I found was like third spaces, like not storming the castle walls. And I'm not saying don't protest, like, but like focusing most of our energy on building a new space, because the wealthy elite have shown that they're going to hoard and they're going to pluck these time flowers and they're going to do whatever they want to do to play by their rules until the end. And like that's how the story ends, and it's a dark ending that like by the time the last time flower is picked and the mob arrives, the estate is in decay and the Count and the Countess are statues. And like if there's a message for us there, it's like turn away, build something new, don't participate in these narratives, because the wealthy are going to keep doing what they want when they want for as long as they want. And I think we really need to give up like wanting the time flowers for ourselves. We got to find those third spaces. We got to build those third spaces. We got to create the beauty for ourselves.
Yeah, the Met Gala is just full of malarkey, isn't it? Man, if you think about it though, America has been the Hunger Games all along. You know, you could say, oh, there's things going on in Palestine right now, yet they're having the Met Gala, but there's literally been genocides all across the world while America's just been living their life. We just been here celebrating, doing our own thing, going to work, acting like nothing even happens. You know, there's silent genocides in Africa all the time, but we don't talk about those. So America is the definition of the Hunger Games. And it feels like now the American people are starting to get upset because the elite, you know, they didn't use all the wealth. Now they starting to take our wealth as well. You know, they're not giving us as much. So now we're like, yo, what's going on? We're the slaves now too? Come on, man.
Talked about the Met Gala.
It's the Bohemian Groves of fashion show.
A lot of people are indicating that it has some ties to the Illuminati.
Ooh.
It seems like celebrities are all dressed up. They're like being initiated into this thing. You never see Beyonce on the red carpet anymore, but she is inside already. She's like in it. But what I thought was weird, every year there's a theme. The theme of this one was a ballad called The Garden of Time. This garden has these flowers in it that are called like time flowers. And at the beginning of the story, they're like walking in the garden, and all of a sudden he looks, and over the hill he sees this mass army. This army was filled with not rich people. He would pick these flowers. Every time he picked it, time would go back, but every time he picked it, it would advance a little further the next day. He eventually runs out of flowers to pick. By the time he picks the last flower, the army of people have gotten to his estate, but everything is in ruins. It's like a foreshadowing. By the time people go to get the things that the elites have had their whole lives, by the time they get to it, it's all destroyed. So that was the theme of the Met Gala.
Makes sense.
The Mississippian pot with the serious star. That's the all-seeing eye, bro. This come from where? Alabama. This come from Alabama. Near Mobile, Alabama. We know the truth now. That is the eye of Horus, the ancient teachings The ancient teachings was the Sirius star. They turned that into a falcon eye. You thought this came from another country? This come from America, bro. This don't come from no damn Egypt. This don't come from this ain't no Hindu sign. This ain't none of it. This is mound builder signs, bro. Oh. Orion's belt inside the head. Where we found this at? Ohio. This ain't got nothing to do with no damn NA, man. This ain't got nothing to do with no NA. We the only people who built structures aligned with the star constellations. And they want to act like we crazy, bro. They want to act like we crazy. Like we don't know we've been here for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. I'm not just trying to prove we know damn Indian, bro.
We know the truth now.
He's saying they go deeper than that, way before the Indians.
You have something called African ancestry, and guess what you got too? Indigenous native ancestry. Why is there two different blood tests? So I even think it's something going on with that, on what they're doing with these DNA tests that's automatically bringing us back to Africa. There was a test done where this dude, it was a white man. He said that he had a suspicion about them lying with the DNA test, and he sent the saliva of his lizard to Ancestral.com. Did you know his lizard came back 34% Nigerian?
It's a joke.
I'm just saying. So man, all this propaganda, man. And look, I don't care if they mad at me or not. All I'm saying is research what I'm saying. I know it sounds taboo, but what happened if the biggest conspiracy in the history of lies happened? And that is that we are indigenous from America. We come from America. We don't come from Africa. But in order for them to take the precious treasures of America, which we have oil, we have gold, we have copper, we have all of that here. They act like all this is in Africa. All this is here too. What happened if it was to drive us out, connect us back to Africa, for we want to go back home, and while we going back to so-called home, we're leaving our home and they taking over our land? I'm just saying, when you really think about it, then look, what happened if the maps is flipped? Because from my understanding of my studies, Lebanon, Illinois was called Lebanon before there was a Lebanon over there. What about Israel? Here. What about Judah, or what you would call Utah? This is here. You start getting into these old names. There's a city out here called Morocco. These are different cities. And what about Memphis? Where's Memphis at? Memphis, Tennessee, that has one of the oldest pyramids here. It's a pyramid in Memphis right now. They didn't put glass over. That's a real pyramid. But then you have a Memphis over there in where? Egypt. What about Cairo? Cairo, Illinois. That's here in the Americas. So we have these different cities in these different states named after stuff that's in Africa, but when you do deep research and study, these was named that here before it was named that there. I'm saying we got to talk about. Then you got stuff like Milwaukee. That's an Indian tribe name. You know what I'm saying? Chattanooga, Tennessee. That's an Indian name. So you start going, and then you got different sections in, because Missouri and Illinois is one of your most oldest places in the world, where I'm from. One of your most oldest places. You got Chickasaw Street. You got Cherokee Street. And then you start seeing there's different museums around there that got all of our stuff in it. They got other people's faces on it. They have did this to the whole world, where they go around where ancient ancestral black people come from. They will change the faces to them, and then they'll take our history. So my belief, my research, my study shows that we are in the oldest parts of the world, which is ancient America. We are not from Africa. I do believe that all people of melanin descent do have some type of ancestral and DNA connection, but we are not all the same people, and we don't all keep a hold of the same traditions. And I believe a lot of islanders, like such as yourself, actually come from the lower Americas, and it actually was a ship's trade there, where a lot of y'all went from the South America to the islands, but it didn't happen the other way, where we all came by millions on this big ass boat, stacked on each other like sardines, came over from Africa, from a port called Yehuda, all the way over into the Americas. And I haven't found any evidence that truly suggests that. Now, can you tamper with evidence and make things look like something? Yes, that's why we all think we're from Africa when we not.
Yo, dropping them gems, man. Look into it.
When you say rebuild the periodic table, what do you mean specifically?
Well, the way the periodic table is laid out, the periodic table they have now,
Let's see.
it looks like a box. It looks like a straight box. But they don't show that hydrogen has the same tone as carbon.
What do you mean by tone?
Same tone, same key of E. Same key of E, 40.5 hertz. The next one would be like 81 hertz. You go to silicon, it will double up and would be 162 hertz. You'll go to cobalt and it'll be 324 hertz. It's take the angles of incidence or the tones that they create, you know, their color. Like you can turn color back into sound based upon it's the same wavelength, it's just twice as long or much longer. So all you have to do is keep dividing light by 2. You keep dividing light by 2 and you'll ultimately get back to the audible sound of it, because there was a relationship between light and color, sound and tone, matter and shape. Walter Russell's periodic table that he put together. Now you compare that to Mendeleev's periodic table and you'll see something completely different. It's unwinding.
Whoa.
And you see there's a relationship that hydrogen.
So you had figured this out at a young age?
I had already seen this. This was all inside of that palace. I had access to it, and I knew the relationship.
You saw this in dreams?
I saw it as a circle. Everything was a full circle laid out, and each area was just expanding, like wrapping a rag around your hand. The first wrap, you know, it's so tight. This is how I saw it more so, but as a vortex. You'll see there's a relationship between hydrogen, carbon, silicon, cobalt, rhodium. They're all bonded. They're all sit as the middle point between 2 noble gases. So those things don't really exist. It's only one substance. Now the problem is, the first thing that we're able to perceive is hydrogen. That's the first visible element, because before it is too dense for us to perceive it. You understand what I'm saying? As you reach into the next octave, the carbon octave, and they call that a bisexual tone, because the carbon has 2 tones to it. It has a negative side and a positive side. The part where lithium behaves, lithium is contractive, beryllium is contractive, boron is contractive, but the moment you get to carbon, you balance it out. Gets to a perfect balance of plus and minus 4. So it's a double tone. Nitrogen is -3, oxygen is -2, fluorine is -1. Now the balance of this, all of those are mates. Fluorine and lithium naturally mate. If you have lithium bonded with any other element, the moment that fluorine is introduced, it will break all bonds violently so it can bond with fluorine. Same thing with beryllium and oxygen. That's why it said, and what they've tried to keep from us, if you want to break water into its component parts of hydrogen and oxygen, all you have to do is introduce beryllium or the sound of beryllium, and oxygen will violently break away from any other thing, even hydrogen, to bond with that beryllium.
Yo, who would have known Terrence Howard is a genius? You know, that's crazy. He wasn't an Iron Man no more because obviously he's Superman. You feel me? Because he got all the knowledge.
This guy, he claims he saw, I don't even know what it is, but look, just watch this video. This has 3.8 million views right now.
You know how you can tell someone's walking behind you? I look back, and he's just fucking looking at me. He stops when I stop. So I walk forward a little bit, you know, I keep walking like that. And I said, fuck this shit, man. I turn around and go, what? What's your fucking problem? I swear to God, on my mother's grave, this guy's eyes was jet fucking black. Jet fucking black. He said, "This my."
Oh no,
like that, man! I fucking turned around, I fucking ran. I said, "Fuck this shit, dude! Fuck this shit!" I come home. I'm sitting out there where my street is, like that fucking corner right there by that stop sign. That motherfucker was standing right fucking there, dude. Come in here, get my gun, look out again. He's gone. That dude was not fucking human.
Yo, okay, there's more.
Yeah, okay.
This is just the first one that went viral.
Yeah.
Fam, this guy has videos on videos on videos of crazy shit happening to him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play 2 of them for you.
Okay.
This is way too much. So I was looking at the comments, fam. Comments were saying those people are the fallen. That's what they call them, the fallen angels. And then they have special abilities that can maybe see your life through something.
So the 200 fallen angels is here right now?
So you're telling me that in 2024, a group of people on a boat can see something strange coming out the water that no one has ever seen, and it doesn't make national news? These people right here, check this out. So these folks right here were on a dinner cruise, correct? And all of a sudden they see a strange light coming out the ocean. And this is something that no one has ever seen before. But it doesn't make national news. But I want you guys to have a look, and you let me know what you think this is in the comment section. Check this out.
Look, it's like it's spinning or something. Yo, that move. Oh, it just cut off. That move was rising up. Did y'all see it? We gotta find the actual video, not just somebody that reacted to it. We gotta find the actual video. My bad, y'all. I should have put the actual video in this one. I'm gonna try to find it though.
The driver take a gun and go like this, and the bullet comes out of the gun this slow. Very, very, very slow.
Trust nothing you see. For real. The 3 world wars.
The question of how and why the United Nations is the crux of the great conspiracy to destroy the sovereignty of the United States and the enslavement of the American people within a UN one world dictatorship is a complete and unknown mystery to the vast majority of the American people. The reason for this unawareness of the frightening danger to our country and to the entire free world is simple. The masterminds behind this great conspiracy have absolute control of all of our mass communications media, especially television, the radio, the press, and Hollywood. We all know that our State Department, the Pentagon, and the White House have brazenly proclaimed that they have the right and the power to manage the news, to tell us not the truth, but what they want us to believe. They have seized that power on orders from their masters of the great conspiracy. And the objective is to brainwash the people into accepting the phony peace bait, to transform the United States into an enslaved unit of the United Nations one world government. Is that our so-called leaders in Washington, whom we elected to safeguard our nation and our Constitution, are the betrayers, and that behind them are a comparatively small group of men whose sole objective is to enslave the whole world of humanity in their satanic plot of one world government. Now, as a matter of further intelligence, a term used by the FBI, let me clarify the meaning of the expression, "he is a liberal." The enemy, meaning the one world conspirators, have seized upon that word liberal as a cover-up for their activities. It sounds so innocent and so humanitarian to be liberal. Will make sure that the person who calls himself a liberal or is described as a liberal is not in truth a red. Now then, this satanic plot was launched back in the 1760s when it first came into existence under the name of the Illuminati.
1760s, guys. Keep that in mind. Think about what happened in the 1700s. Certain things were founded.
This Illuminati was organized by one Adam Weishaupt, born a Jew, who was converted to Catholicism and became a Catholic priest, and then, at the behest of the then newly organized House of Rothschild, defected and organized the Illuminati. Naturally, the Rothschilds financed that operation. And every war since then, beginning with the French Revolution, has been promoted by the Illuminati operating under various names and guises. In the United States, they set up what they called the Council on Foreign Relations, commonly referred to as the CFR. And this CFR is actually the Illuminati in the United States. And its hierarchy, the masterminds in control of the CFR, to a very great extent, are the descendants of the original Illuminati conspirators.
They are
But
related.
to conceal that fact, most of them changed their original family names to American-sounding names. For example, the true name of the Dillons, Clarence and Douglas Dillon, once Secretary of the U.S. Treasury Department, is Lepowski. There is a similar establishment of the Illuminati in England, operating under the name of the British Institute of International Affairs. There are similar secret Illuminati organizations in France, Germany, and other nations operating under different names. But at all times, the operations of these organizations were and are masterminded and controlled by the internationalist bankers, who in turn were and are controlled by the Rothschilds. Now, just why did the conspirators choose the word Illuminati for their satanic organization? Weishaupt himself said that the word is derived from Lucifer and means holders of the light, using the lie that his objective was to bring about a one-world government to enable those with mental ability to govern the world and prevent all wars in the future. In short, using the word peace on earth as his bait. Perhaps the most vital directive in Weishaupt's plan was to obtain absolute control of the press, so that all news and information could be slanted, so that the masses could be convinced that a one-world government is the only solution to our many and varied problems. Now do you know who owns and controls our mass communications media? I'll tell you, practically all the movie lots in Hollywood is owned by the Lehmans, Kuhn Loeb and Company, Goldman Sachs, and other internationalist bankers. All the national radio and TV channels in the nation are owned and controlled by those same internationalist bankers. In 1834, the Italian revolutionary leader Giuseppe Mazzini was selected by the Illuminati to direct their revolutionary program throughout the world. Mazzini had enticed an American general named Albert Pike into the Illuminati. Pike was fascinated by the idea of a one-world government, and ultimately he became the head of this Luciferian conspiracy. Between 1859 and 1871, he, Pike, worked out a military blueprint for 3 world wars and various revolutions throughout the world, which he considered would forward the conspiracy to its final stage in the 20th century. Long before Marconi invented radio, the scientists in the Illuminati had found the means for Pike and the heads of his councils to communicate secretly. It was the discovery of that secret that enabled intelligence officers to understand how apparently unrelated incidents, one such as the assassination of an Austrian prince at Sarajevo, took place simultaneously throughout the world, which developed into a war or a revolution. Pike's plan was as simple as it has proved effective. It called for communism, Nazism, political Zionism, and other international movements be organized and used to foment 3 global world wars and at least 2 major revolutions. World War III is to be fomented by using the so-called controversies the agents of the Illuminati, operating under whatever new name, are now stirring up between the political Zionists and the leaders of the Muslim world. That war is to be directed in such a manner that all of Islam and political Zionism, Israel, will destroy each other, while at the same time the remaining nations, once more divided on this issue, will be forced to fight themselves into a state of complete exhaustion, physically, mentally, spiritually, and economically. Now, can any thinking person doubt that the intrigue now going on in the Near, Middle, and Far East is designed to accomplish that satanic objective? Pike himself foretold all this in a statement he made to Mazzini on August 15, 1871. Pike stated that after World War III is ended, those who will inspire to undisputed world domination will provoke the greatest social cataclysm the world has ever known. Quoting his own words, taken from the letter he wrote to Mazzini, and which letter is now catalogued in the British Museum in London, England, he said, "We shall unleash the nihilists and the atheists, and we shall provoke a great social cataclysm which in all its horror will show clearly to all nations the effect of absolute atheism, the origin of savagery and of most bloody turmoil. Then everywhere the people forced to defend themselves against the world minority of revolutionaries will exterminate those destroyers of civilization, and the multitudes disillusioned with Christianity, whose deistic spirits will be from that moment on without direction and leadership, and anxious for an ideal but without knowledge where to send its adoration, will receive the true light through the universal manifestation of the pure doctrine of Lucifer, brought finally out into public view, a manifestation which will result from a general reactionary movement which will follow the destruction of Christianity and atheism, both conquered and exterminated at the same time. Anyway, the ending of the Civil War destroyed, temporarily, all chances of the House of Rothschild to get a clutch on our money system, such as they had acquired in Britain and other nations in Europe. I say temporarily because the Rothschilds and the masterminds of the conspiracy never quit. So they had to start from scratch, but they lost no time in getting started. Shortly after the Civil War, a young immigrant who called himself Jacob H. Schiff arrived in New York. Jacob was a young man with a mission for the House of Rothschild. Jacob was the son of a rabbi, born in one of Rothschild's houses in Frankfurt, Germany. After a comparatively brief training period in the Rothschilds' London bank, Jacob left for America with instructions to buy into a banking house, which was to be the springboard to acquire control of the money system of the United States. Actually, Jacob came here to carry out 4 specific assignments. Number 1, and most important, was to acquire control of America's money system. Number 2, find desirable men who, for a price, would be willing to serve as stooges for the great conspiracy and promote them into high places in our federal government, our Congress, in the U.S. Supreme Court, and all federal agencies. Number 3, create minority group strife throughout the nations, particularly between whites and blacks. Number 4, create a movement to destroy religion in the United States, but Christianity to be the chief target. In the final phases of the conspiracy, the one world government will consist of the king dictator, head of the United Nations, the CFR, and a few billionaires, economists, and scientists who have proved their devotion to the great conspiracy. All others are to be integrated into a vast conglomeration of mongrelized humanity, actually slaves.
Yo, that's probably one of the most crazy videos I've seen in a while. You know what I'm saying? Like when you find out the whole world and everything you know is just one big conspiracy. I mean, we've been saying it all the time, but there goes the proof for you guys. That was an old video from 1967. And you can tell some of them things are happening still till this day. I feel like it's a long agenda for them, and they're going to make sure that whatever they started out to do back then is going to get finished. You know, we are moving towards that one world centralized government, you know, and oh man, it's gonna be wild. It's gonna be wild. Hopefully there's some type of resistance. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, guys, these are some of the most strange and bizarre TikToks that are out there. If you like the content, don't forget to subscribe, turn your notification bells on, and until next time, YouTube, peace.